Hey guys, I'm Fidel 1258 here. Today I'm going to talk to you about card burning and how amazingly inexpensive card assets can be wildly expensive in the future. I actually think the writing is on the wall for this to happen. And I think we can predict, plan, and prepare now. And if you are wise, you will. But that's not just about going deep and aping into assets. It's about recognizing that whatever your commitment level is, whether you're a whale or a krill, there's crazy opportunity, outsized opportunity in front of us. Will you prepare? And then will you take advantage when those green candles come? Let's talk about it today. Have an amazing day, guys. God bless. Man, this is really, really a special moment. With Rebellion, with Land, with Matt's vision, with SPS, with DC, with... It seems like, and then we got card burning in January, which we haven't really talked about. No one's really talked about, except for Matt did mention that it's going to happen in January, or I think he said first quarter. Card burning. We're going to see a massive card burning. Yes, it's going to be mostly Chaos Legion because they're the cheapest. But I mean, it would make sense if you don't already to be buying up like cheapies. I'm going to buy some right now. Buy the cheapest of the cheap. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Card burning, please and thank you. And if I participate, I can get access to really meaningful promo cards. If I don't participate, I will see a price appreciation on the assets I hold. Is that I don't know that everybody recognizes that. The benefit of a card burning is not just to whales. And those who say that either aren't paying attention or are being insincere. Because there's a lot of salt and sometimes insincerity. It's like fun to be, the grumpy old man in the room, and say, it's not going to work. It's just for rich people. It's just for the whales. Like all that sort of negative animosity stuff. You guys know me. That's not my idea. I just can't get behind that. I do not agree with that sort of tone. It's like, you got to look at these things, nuanced, complicated conversations have nuanced, answers. And, if you want to say that whales will disproportionately benefit from a card burning event, especially if it's being rewarded with Rift Watcher packs or Rebellion packs or promo cards that are amazing and awesome and you just definitely and desperately want them, okay, you're right. The whales will disproportionately benefit, but the whales also will disproportionately contribute and participate. And so this nonsense that the whales shouldn't benefit from SPS governance and ownership because they have so much SPS that it's unfair that they will dominate the voice and the vote. But you just said it in the same sentence. It's like saying the sky is blue, so it shouldn't be blue. They bought SPS, they acquired SPS, they held and staked SPS, and now they have a vote. And that's a meaningful vote because they believed in it when others didn't, because they believed in it and financially invested in it when others didn't or couldn't, but still. Same as with cards. If you got Chaos Legion cards and you got a huge stack of these inexpensive assets and you want to burn them in an asset burning event that will happen whether you like it or not, recognize that took posturing and planning for that individual to sort of acquire that deck and that the capacity to enjoy that burn event. And you might say, well, it's totally unfair that they get these amazing legendary or amazing promo cards or these opportunities to win these titles. I can't participate in that. Okay. And what is this idea of fairness is it's like a kindergarten idea of fairness. This idea that because one can't participate, another shouldn't. And it's so short-sighted because a card burning event would absolutely benefit not just the whales. I just articulated that a justification for why it's okay and in fact good that the whales will benefit disproportionately from a burning event because they disproportionately committed to this game. But separately, it's important to come back to the fact that it's not just the whales that benefit from a card burning or a DEC burning event. It's absolutely the entire ecosystem of people touching this game. Everybody from the smallest krill to the biggest whale. Because even if you do not burn one card, as a card holder, you see a reduced supply for the asset you own. And so if 9/10, and it won't be this way, but like if 9/10 of the Pellicore Conjurer get burned and you choose not to participate and you've got Pellicore Conjurers, what do you think happens to your Pellicore Conjurer? So as a non-whale, as a non-big investor, as a person who doesn't have a huge deck of cards and maybe can't participate in a meaningful way into a card burning event, you will benefit because supply will shrink, and therefore existing demand or growing demand will be exacerbated by this compounding, this reduction of supply. And a lot of people don't believe that because they've never seen that happen. But that's just, again, the short-sightedness, the saltiness of a bear market season. And it's not the long sort of game in mind. But as you step back and you recognize that anything that has any asset that sells has a supply and a demand, and you can affect its price in one of two ways, by reducing supply or increasing demand. And what I'm saying is that card burning will absolutely decrease the supply, particularly so amongst the most inexpensive cards that exist in the game. And people who own those cards should enjoy that for two reasons. One, they can participate in the burning and have amazing opportunities to win cool things. Or two, they can receive a benefit incidental, just from being here, because others will participate. And that's a reduction in your supply. So it's not just for whales. And finally, there's the lottery aspect. Why does somebody pay? I just was looking at the non-card market there. Let's see if I can pull it up again. Non-card market, plot of land, $81. Why does somebody buy, and if we go to Hive Engine, we can see, why does somebody buy a plot of land for earlier, looks like probably 4 days ago, November 5th, looks like somebody bought one for $88, $89 US. Why does somebody buy a plot of land for $90 when they could go in and buy a plot of land for $30? Because almost certainly a common plot of land, $28, $29, $30. Why would someone buy a plot of land for $80, $90 on Hive Engine 4 days ago, 5 days ago, when they could come into Peak Monsters and buy one for $30? Because recognize this plot that's unidentified will almost certainly be a common. Not for sure, but almost certainly. But the thing is that almost certainly is not the same as certainly. And that's the untangible, the unmeasurable element of why people will always buy assets like packs when they could just go get cards. I was watching Bronze Dragon the other day. He opened 25 packs of Chaos Legion and he bought them off the peer-to-peer market for like 70, 80 cents. And he got, it's a $25 he was like a $20 purchase and he got like $12 worth of cards. But even in the video, one, he had fun opening the packs. Two, it could have been something crazy. It could have been a gold foil legendary. And you just never know. And so for the same reasons as people buy plots of land that are unidentified for way more than the asking price of the cheapest plot of land. And for the same reason, people will buy packs from the peer-to-peer marketplace or from Splinterlands directly when the cards inside are not necessarily going to equate to an equal 1-to-1 dollar ratio, is because it could just blow you out of the water with what you get. It's possible that you get legendary that changes your deck. It's possible you get a castle or a keep. It's possible you get a legendary gold foil card that just is amazing and sells for a crazy amount of money and then allows you to buy. It's a bit of a lottery ticket. It's fun. It's exciting. And so that's why we can and we do participate in these things. And that's relevant to the card burning event that's going to come up, because we absolutely, some people will participate in it strictly because, hey, what happens if I get this amazing promo card and it turns gold foil? What happens if I get this cool title? What happens if, whatever the case may be? We'll see what the prizes and the leaderboard offerings are. But they've talked about titles, they've talked about packs, they've talked about, promo cards. So something cool is coming, and a ton of people will participate. And yes, a lot of the highest participants will be whales, but it is not just a whale event. It will benefit the entire game. And as those cards go down in price, and down in supply, they go up in price, and that affects rental card earnings, which create a new excitement around card asset values and a new attention to the game. And then if that sparks new investment, because there's this spike in card prices, that could translate to SPS acquiring because they need SPS bags to participate in the rank play. And then what does that do to SPS prices? Everything is so interconnected in this game, and it always has been. And it's so important that we be prudent and thoughtful about the nuanced reality of these complex events, the economical considerations and the tokenomics that are being planned by Matt, who is literally a genius. It's so important to be thoughtful about it and not just kind of fat finger our responses sometimes. And I don't think any of you guys do that, just so you know. But there are people who just feel, and it's a bit, maybe they feel burnt. There's an emotional component. But what I hope my channel strives to do is communicate. We need to be prudent when other people are freaking out. We need to be thoughtful in advance of difficulties or even opportunities that are yet to come. Because in that planning and prudence, we can position ourselves in such a crazy way that will allow us to disproportionately benefit. And that's a thoughtful, nuanced conversation that you have well in advance of these events. January is still a ways away. It's not even for sure that this happens in January. But when it happens, I'm going to be like, I'm going to have a different mindset about it than probably 7/10 of people. And probably you will too, because you've thought through some of the things I've just said, or that I'm going to yet say around this topic. So yeah, thanks guys. I think that's important. Yeah, bye penny chaos cards. Eventually, man. And just like we saw in the Twitter post where Gold Matters was talking about SPS pumping, DEC pumping, and then Stever dropped a comment saying, we've been talking about this happening. We knew this would happen, but people are still going to be surprised. It's the same thing with chaos cards. We knew that limited assets, supplies that are not infinite, absolutely their prices run up when demand increases or supply decreases. This is literally as basic as economics 101. And yet most people are going to be caught off guard when Chaos Legion packs are like a few dollars and Chaos Legion cards at the cheapest are, several cents. That's in my mind absolutely a certainty, because I actually think this game is certain to succeed. And so therefore I think it grows and grows and grows. I think a community grows with it. I think card demand grows with it. I think farming in land is going to sink a lot of the cards. So again, supply demand is there's being crunched from multiple angles. And then as prices appreciate, you start to attract new investors. And that's another crunch on supply from a different angle. So yeah, bye-bye penny chaos cards, bye-bye cheap assets. But then even now thinking about what would it mean to recognize that even that bullish moment that you're predicting, gathering, and that I'm predicting, that it will not be a forever moment either. Right now, this bear market, or the bear market that was, hasn't been a forever moment. And neither will the next bull market. And if we are different than 9 out of 10 people, we will remember that and act accordingly in the bull market. But if we are just like the herd, we will roll up the hill of exponential gain and crazy profit, and then we will fall off the edge and lose it all. Paper gains, paper losses, reset 4 years later. So I'm actually going to wrap with that, guys. I got to go at 11 here, just a short little members live, but I am going to post another members only video content. It's about 7-8 minutes or something like that. And you guys can go check it out. It's actually very connected to this topic. I hope you'll enjoy it.